Good evening and happy hump day. You are watching KSAT's 9 at Night. I'm Stephania Jimenez. Now tonight we begin with a heartbreaking case of child abuse. A San Antonio mother is charged in the death of her 6-year-old daughter. The woman's name is Stephania Jimenez. Police arrested her yesterday, and this is in a case involving her daughter, Samantha, who was found unresponsive last October. She was just 8 days shy of her 7th birthday. She only weighed 31 pounds, and at the time, she'd been dealing with COVID, pneumonia, and kidney failure. The mother told police that Samantha fell and hit her head. Her bond now set at $200,000. Her other children, by the way, are with Child and Protective Services. As the fallout over abortion rights continues, San Antonio City Council takes up a resolution to support reproductive rights next week. Now, to be clear, that resolution is not going to make abortions legal in San Antonio, but it will prevent city funds from being used for actions intended to pursue a criminal investigation, like storing or cataloging reports on abortions, providing information to government agencies, or conducting surveillance on a person to find out if an abortion happened. District 5 Councilwoman Terry Castillo spearheaded that measure.
Because we have a responsibility to protect our residents from any violation of their protected human rights and their free exercise thereof. A duty to stand up against the draconian Supreme Court ruling, especially in a state like Texas, where trigger laws will go into effect.
City Council is going to discuss that resolution next Tuesday. Now, speaking of resolutions, the Uvalde City Council passed one, and it asks Governor Greg Abbott to call for a special session to change existing gun laws. And now we're hearing from the governor's office, which released the following statement, which reads in part, quote, "As Governor Abbott has said from day one, all options remain on the table as he continues working with state and local leaders to prevent future tragedies and deploy all available resources to support the Uvalde community as they heal." More announcements are expected in the coming days and weeks as the legislature deliberates proposed solutions, end quote. Meanwhile, the Uvalde City Council is vowing to investigate every city police officer who responded to the scene at Robb Elementary. The council's lead investigators are going to interview them. Uvalde police officers were among the first to arrive at the school on the day of the shooting. That tragedy was 2 months ago. Can you believe it? And support continues to pour in for the community. Today, pastors who are from Uvalde but now live in Harlingen in California gathered at the memorial site to pray. Uvalde CISD teachers, family members of the victims were there. They were holding hands. The pastors just wanted to offer hope. James Garza, a Uvalde teacher and pastor, prayed for healing.
We pray that you bring comfort and peace to every heart. That you bring a calmness, and not a false calmness, Lord, but true peace that comes from you.
And there is going to be another prayer service. The next one is going to take place Saturday, but a date and place haven't yet been set. Now, switching gears, you all know this, we need rain, and while we wait for it, we're going to have to deal with the heat. Here's meteorologist Adam Caskey with your forecast.
Tomorrow's going to be very similar to what we had today. Take a look at the KSAT 12-hour forecast. 78 degrees at 7 a.m. By noon, we're up to 91. A good amount of sunshine throughout the day. And then some of the patchy clouds will develop into brief downpours, but mainly east of San Antonio between I-37 and I-10. Right near 100 for the high temperature. It really wouldn't surprise me if officially in town we were below 100 degrees. And that would be the third time this month we'd be below 100. But you look at the highs going forward, right near 100, give or take a degree. Rain chances pretty slim. 10% on Thursday, Friday 20%, and then early next week, Monday and Tuesday, still only at 10%.
I'm telling you, those highs, you want to see those on your kid's report card, not on the forecast. All right, so we know temperatures right there are hovering right around 100 degrees, but summer is about to end for a group of people. Students. And ahead of the new school year, you probably have questions about school safety, staffing, or COVID-19. Yes, it's a lot to work through, so we want to help you get some answers. Right now on KSAT.com, you can get answers to questions that you have for school officials as kids prepare to return to class. It's in the return to class section of our website, a special section right there. You can also scan the QR code that you see right there on your screen. It'll take you to that page, and there you'll find all of our return to class coverage to help you prepare for the upcoming school year. Now, one thing that many of you have asked about is monkeypox. So it's a good thing the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is clearing the way to distribute and administer hundreds of thousands of additional doses of the monkeypox vaccine in the U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra said that the move is going to make 786,000 more doses available in the U.S. That's on top of more than 310,000 doses already delivered in anticipation of the approval. The health department anticipates making about 1.9 million doses available this year and another 2.2 million doses in the first half of 2023. Now on to another virus. President Joe Biden has tested negative for COVID twice now, once yesterday evening and once today. It's been 6 days since the president tested positive. Doctors determined that Biden contracted the highly transmissible BA.5 Omicron subvariant, and they immediately began treating him with a 5-day course of the antiviral Paxlovid. The president has been isolating, experiencing mild symptoms. Now, according to a note from his doctor, the president's symptoms are, quote, almost completely resolved, and he can discontinue isolation. The president says, or the doctor says, the president is going to then mask up for an additional 10 days. In other news, they did it again. You knew it would happen. For the second time, the Federal Reserve made its second largest interest rate hike. So the Fed increased interest rates 0.75 of a point. That's the same as last month's rate hike. That sounds familiar. Now, the goal here is to slow the economy down by making borrowing more expensive, which would then bring down inflation. There are some indications the rate hikes are having an impact. Companies reporting earnings are saying that customers are spending less. Also, gas prices, you've noticed those continue to fall, even though they're still high. But there are worries that another rate increase could lead to a recession. We want you to stick around because we have a packed show for you on the Night Beat. You're going to hear from two families that are heartbroken. Their teenage sons were killed. What they say happened the night of the shooting. Also, reckless and senseless. That is what the Bexar County Sheriff's Office is saying about a viral challenge involving toy guns. We're going to tell you more tonight at 10. This is special. For tomorrow, there is an event for veterans, a job fair. Dozens of local businesses want to hire military vets. The job fair is at the Shrine Auditorium. The address is there on your screen, 901 North Loop 1604 West. The event goes from 11 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. You do have to pre-register before you go, and we have a link to that on our website, KSAT.com. And if you're one of the ones who are going, good luck to you. Now, before we go, do you remember the space jacket that Buzz Aldrin had on while stepping on the moon? There it is. And someone just paid $2.7 million for it. It was actually auctioned yesterday in New York at Sotheby's. Now, the in-flight coverall jacket is made of a fireproof, tightly woven silica fiber called beta cloth that's used in the production of the Apollo spaceflight suits. Apollo 11 flight plans, including a complete summary of the mission, that was also sold, and someone paid $819,000 for that. Okay, so would you pay that much if you had the money? Let us know. It's been a pleasure having you with us. This is KSAT's 9 at Night, and to all of you, have a wonderful night. We'll see you right back here on Friday.